Hello team, this is another ATP Geopolitics video with myself, Jonathan MS Pearce. Ukraine War breaking news update for the 22nd of March 2024. This is massively important in the American political scene, but it has huge ramifications to Ukraine. So this is news that's just fresh out at the moment that Marjorie Taylor Greene has moved to vacate Speaker of the House of Representatives, Mike Johnson's seat. Okay, quick, I know a lot of my viewers are not American, so if you're not American, just a quick reminder. US politics is split into the president, the Senate, where you have 100 senators, 2 senators from each of the 50 states, and then that's not done on population. So Maine has the same number of senators as California. Okay, and then you have the House of Representatives that had 400 and however many it is, House of 400 and whatever it is, representatives that form the lower house, and they have a majority and minority, usually party, and the majority party by a very slim majority is the Republicans, and they get the Speaker of the House of Representatives, therefore is a Republican. And that was a guy, after Kevin McCarthy had his seat vacated, they kind of ousted him, and then it took many rounds to get this new Speaker in, many rounds to get Kevin McCarthy back in. And it's a very involved process when people are sort of arguing, tussling each way, and that in the Republican Party themselves. And you've got Mike Johnson, who is not everyone's cup of tea. He's very much a Christian nationalist, so he wants to do things by the Bible, not by the Constitution, which can get people upset who are more secularist or constitutionalist. And he is very much beholden to the MAGA crowd. That's who kind of got him in, and he was dancing to their tune, and that's why we've not seen Ukraine aid really. That MAGA group, particularly Marjorie Taylor Greene, didn't want him to do a deal on keeping the government open and doing a deal with the Democrats for funding, for appropriations and funding and whatnot. So they said, look, if you do a deal, a bipartisan deal to keep the government not shut down, then we're going to do you. Basically, is what Marjorie Taylor Greene said. So that's happened, and Marjorie Taylor Greene has remained true to her word. Jake Sherman here says, breaking news. Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene has filed a motion to vacate Speaker Johnson, according to multiple sources on the House floor. Stay tuned for more info. Daily Beast then comes out with a very short article, because this is just sort of coming out now. Marjorie Taylor Greene officially launches a revolt against Speaker Mike Johnson, Groundhog Day. On Friday, Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene filed a motion to force a vote on Mike Johnson's removal from the speakership. And Green's move, which came amid Conservative outrage over Johnson's deal on a spending deal to avert a government shutdown, threatens to throw the chamber into chaos just months after hard-right faction ousted Kevin McCarthy for the top job. It was not immediately clear when a vote for Johnson's fate would occur. Now, if you remember how long it took to get a speaker in, these processes are not quick, and they kind of paralyse the House of Representatives, which means the Congress will be further paralysed. So if it goes to that, there could be a bit of a problem. This is NJ.com, True Jersey, so New Jersey local rag here, saying MAGA civil war breaks out again as Trump supporter MTG goes after Speaker Mike Johnson. What's next? So this is Green's decision to file the motion on Friday will force the full House of Representatives to vote whether to remove Johnson within 2 business days. Appearing on Steve Bannon's podcast on Friday morning, Green, a flame-throwing representative from Georgia, accused Johnson of giving too much away to President Biden and Democrats in government funding negotiations. She hinted she was seriously considering a motion to vacate the speakership, the same procedural that knocked out Johnson's predecessor and Green ally, former Representative Kevin McCarthy. Quote, Mike Johnson has got rolled, she said, completely, totally, in every single process. He has not negotiated with strength. He's handed every single thing over to Chuck Schumer. We are making that decision on a minute-by-minute basis today, Steve. I think you can stay tuned. And that was when she was asked, whether it was going to happen. We're going to be making decisions on a minute-by-minute basis today, and I urge you to watch and see what happens. And then the news now is that it is happening. Now, what's interesting here is that Mike Johnson, as I said this morning, he's like the single human being, although you can trace that line of dominoes up or puppeteers up to Trump and then across to Putin even. But he's stopping the aid to Ukraine going. Now, this is interesting because actually some people think he's genuine in his support for Ukraine. So this is now slightly old, even though it's very new, this video, but it's just from 4 hours ago. But actually, Marjorie Taylor Greene has now moved to vacate Johnson. But this is worth listening to in terms of what a Democratic lawmaker thinks of Mike Johnson.
Okay, on the Ukraine aid package, you're a big supporter of it. Ukraine is suffering. They're running out of ammunition. I've heard 1,000 different ways that folks are going to try to get this across the finish line, including a discharge position, in effect going around the authority of the speaker. Are any of those efforts alive or anywhere set to happen in the near term?
We have to get aid to Ukraine, as you said, Jim, but I don't think a discharge petition is going to be successful. There are two competing discharge petitions, so each one is draining support off the other. We're not going to get to 218 that way. So sooner or later, the speaker is going to have to actually act with some courage and bring a robust Ukraine aid bill to the floor sooner rather than later, because as you indicated in your reporting, Ukrainians are dying for lack of ammunition on the battlefield.
But people have been talking about that for ages, and he's talked about it certainly, but he hasn't done it yet. He could have done it yesterday or weeks ago. What evidence or confidence do you have that that's going to happen? The speaker's going to bring it to the floor for a vote.
The only evidence I think we have is his own word. He has told multiple sources, including President Zelensky of Ukraine, including numerous pro-Ukraine Republicans, including some key Republican leaders, chairman of critical committees, that he will bring a Ukraine aid bill to the floor. So his word's on the line. I have no reason to doubt his word, but as you indicate, time is fleeting and lives are being lost. So we've got to get this done and done soon.
I thought that was interesting. So this is a Democrat saying, we've got nothing but his word here, but I do believe his word. He has gone around and said to a lot of people that he will bring this to the floor. I genuinely think Mike Johnson wants to bring it to the floor, but he can't because he knows his job's on the line. Well, now that MTG has called him out and was moved to vacate him, now could be the time. And indeed, this is what Adam Kinzinger has said. So former Republican senator here saying that actually Johnson should put the aid to a package on the floor now in exchange for Democratic votes to save him. And this is interesting. So they all get to vote on whether that seat is vacated. Now, he could do a deal with Democrats to say, look, and this has been kind of rumored for some time, Democrats could go to Mike Johnson and say, look, if you table that, if you put the bill on the floor for us to vote on, then if there's a move to vacate you, we'll support you, we'll vote for you, and then the Republicans can't vote you out. And this is a way of because previously with like Kevin McCarthy, of course the Democrats are going to vote him out, cause chaos amongst the Republicans, and they'll be like, yeah, we're going to get rid of the speaker. He's your guy. We vote to get rid of him. Yeah, chaos. Who are you going to get in? Yeah, whatever. So they bring someone else in, and if they move to vacate him in any other time, the Democrats would probably go, well, Mike Johnson, we don't like Mike Johnson, let's get rid of him. But now it could be the time where, like, okay, we need to get things done. This has got so desperate for say, Ukraine. Here's our opportunity to actually say to Mike Johnson, you're going to owe us, mate, but we're going to support you, and you won't get them voted out, and we'll therefore get aid to Ukraine. That's a deal we'll do. So, and that would then please a number of the Republican lawmakers who want aid to Ukraine as well. So I don't know. Interesting to see where this is going to go next. This is only just breaking, so the details are sketchy and thin on the ground. Hopefully that gives you something of a bit of an insight into what's going on.